Welcome to episode 443, and the topic is timely and an important conversation on integrity in Ayurveda. In a world where the wellness space is rapidly expanding, moments of rupture invite us back to the roots of this ancient tradition: awareness, responsibility, and ethical practice. I'm joined by Dr. Jayarajan Kodikannath to explore what integrity truly means in Ayurveda, how it's upheld in classical teachings, and how we can embody it in modern practice. Welcome to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. I'm your host, Colette. And if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend starting with the first few episodes where I introduce the foundations of Ayurveda and the doshas. To learn more, work with me, or explore my offerings, you can visit elementshealingandwellbeing.com. And for podcast updates, join me on Instagram at Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And before we begin, just a quick note to say that this podcast is for educational and inspirational purposes only. It's not intended as medical advice. Now let's dive into this episode. Hello and welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. Today, I'm very happy to welcome back Vaidya Jayarajan Kodikannath, who is a visionary, a classical trained Ayurveda doctor, and an accomplished teacher, representing a lineage of Ayurveda practitioners from Kerala, India. Dr. Jay is also the CEO and Academy Director of Kerala Ayurveda USA. Dr. Jay, it's always a pleasure. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Colette. Of course, always it is, nice to be with you and, bring the right knowledge and the right information and helping people to understand, the real information and knowledge. So thank you for doing this and helping people to get to know everything in the right way, in the right frame.
Thank you. Yes. And today is an important discussion that I've been wanting to have with you. And in particular, it's around integrity in Ayurveda. And while we're not here to focus on specific events, it's very clear in moments of rupture in any healing tradition, in the wellness community, that it really invites us back to the roots, back to awareness, back to the responsibility and the integrity of Ayurveda, which I think is something that we really need to respect and treasure. And so I'd love to begin the discussion today, Dr. Jay, with how would you define integrity within the context of Ayurveda?
Wonderful question. Very important discussion. And I appreciate you selecting this topic. Ayurveda is a consciousness-based healing system. When you say consciousness-based healing system, integrity is a part of its, that is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is all about integrity. Because body, mind, consciousness. This is what Ayurveda is addressing to. And the word integrity, it will keep coming in everywhere. There are specific references about who should be a student of Ayurveda, who should be a practitioner of Ayurveda. And everywhere you will see the integrity. Few words you will see. One is Shuddhara. Shuddhi means purity. That you will see. Purity in your actions, purity in your thinking, purity in your, your words. Then Satya. Satya is another word, always you will see, that is about the truthfulness. Okay? That is also, you will see everywhere. Then Arjavam. Arjavam is straightforward. And the entire context of Ayurvedic discussion, you will see these words repeated as guiding principles for receiving Ayurveda, practicing Ayurveda, and doing anything with Ayurveda. So integrity is a big component. And they say that, I still remember my granddad guiding me as a young, passionate student of Ayurveda. He says that your truthfulness and integrity, and you say that you are in a place, somebody is coming with suffering, you don't have any herbs with you. Okay? You take a cup of water with your utmost integrity, you say that, let this heal you. And you will be able to, help that person heal through your truthful affirmation and truthful intention. Let this individual be devoid of the suffering, that it can help. And he says that will happen only if you are pure in your intention, if you are clearing in your intention, if you are true to your intention.
I
So
love
integrity
that.
plays a very huge role in Ayurveda as a field, as a field of healing.
Yeah, I love that. Your pure energy going into the energy of the water, and water holds energy and holds memory. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. References to integrity in the classical Ayurvedic texts, do they speak of like ethical responsibilities for those of us practicing Ayurveda?
Of course, there are dedicated chapters. For example, the second chapter of Ashtanga Sangraham is Shishya Upanayaniyam. It's always about the quality and the principles need to be followed by students of Ayurveda, the practitioners of Ayurveda, and they use a certain very interesting analogy there. For example, Shastram Shastrani Salilam, there is a reference. It says that the sharp instruments, the knowledge, the practical knowledge or the healing knowledge, and the water depends upon where it is staying. Okay? That means if the container is pure, the water will stay pure. If the hearts of the individual practicing, learning Ayurveda stay pure and integral and with integrity, the Ayurveda will stay pure. The same way, the instrument, sharp instrument with somebody who is positive and who is truthful will use it in the positive way, otherwise it can hurt people. And there are qualities of, students there. These words will be there. Shuchi means the purity in thinking, purity in talking, and to be true to yourself. That is there in even a physician's guidance. There are 4 qualities, that need to be integral to this, physician or the practitioner of Ayurveda. That is Daksha, Tirthartha, Shastrartha, Drishta Karma, Shuchir Bishak. Shuchi means purity. That covers everything. Purity in your action, purity in your words, and purity in your thinking. So integrity is all about, being true so that you can enjoy your life, you can sleep with a peace of mind, you are true to yourself. And that's a huge part of Ayurvedic practice. And there is no compromise. There should not be any compromise on that. But I agree with you, when the Ayurveda is getting more and more popular, globally popular, it can come with issues because it become a kind of a commercial opportunity.
Exactly.
Right? Based on the Western idea of prosperity, the Western idea of growth, prosperity, everything is about material and money.
Yeah.
Whereas the Eastern tradition, what is your prosperity? The list of prosperity mentioned in Ayurveda? The first in prosperity is health. Health is the wealth, what you can hold. Second is the knowledge and integrity. Then comes every other material as prosperity. Right?
Our value system in the West is very different.
It is different. Ayurveda and Vedic sciences, I always say this need to be spread across the globe. So it will also bring this ethical aspect of living, the dharma, the concept of dharma, right? The righteous living, righteous practice, and etc. That will shift the human consciousness. The only way to change an individual or a group or the whole mankind is to build awareness. And Vedic sciences like Ayurveda can play a huge role in bringing more ethical way of looking at life, ethical way of living. Absolutely. And you will see that, right? There are a lot of people, initially they really work hard or do anything to get a lot of money. And after that, they understand, this is not giving them peace of mind or happiness. And then they will start giving that to charitable organizations and philanthropy, etc.
Yeah, they become seekers eventually because they know the material goods are not where the happiness lies.
So the question is how we can help people before going into all unethical practice and making money and saying that this is not also not helping me, giving me happiness. After that, changing them. Can we instill this principle of living truthfully, living positively, and helping them to enjoy life from the beginning itself? Ayurveda
Absolutely.
should be a part of school curriculum, according to me.
Yes, I agree. From a very young age, it would make a big difference in people's lives, particularly children, if they understood even the concept of doshas, helping them navigate life. But I think back when you're talking about, integrity in Ayurveda and talking about how we achieve happiness in this lifetime, I think of the Mahatma Gandhi quote, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony, which is essentially what you're saying.
Exactly.
You know?
At the end of the day, we are human beings. What we need, as a human, what we need, you will say that, oh, I want happiness, I want peace, and I want longevity. The ultimate, anybody you take. I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful, I want to live the longest possible. Then integrity in what you are doing is a big part of it. Otherwise, what will happen is whenever you compromise your integrity, you deviate from the truthfulness, deviate from the dharmic, the virtuous way of living that creates even within you. It's not that others will understand immediately. They may not know because you are a good actor to show that you are still. Internally, you will start feeling guilty, shameful, and that guilt, shame, etc. is going to deplete you. They're going to create more imbalance in you.
So
So
you're on the
living with
wrong path.
integrity is not for others. Living with integrity is for you.
Absolutely. Because deep down you're on the wrong path. And oftentimes we'll use distractions, right? To just not go to those times of quiet and stillness where we know deep down that we're not on the right path. So let's go back to the concept of Dharma that you mentioned a moment ago. And how does Dharma guide ethical decision making in Ayurveda?
See, once you understand the purpose, what is dharma? Dharma means the righteous path. Whatever role you get in this life, we all get different roles. Doing justice and being truthful to that role is called dharma. That could be as a kid for parents, or as a student, as a healer, as a teacher, as a parent. We get a lot of roles in our life. Being truthful to every role and doing the right thing at the right time in every role is dharma. And that is going to make you a good human being. That is going to make your outcome of what you do the best. And that is going to be able to sustain. And the truth will always prevail, right? When I teach my first lesson for my students coming to certification program, I tell them, we see that many things invented, many medication, chemical medicine invented. After 10 years, 20 years, it is obsolete. It's we will not use it. Then this 6,000 year or more, old tradition Ayurveda, why is it still getting more and more popular now? There's only one reason. Because it is a true science. It is a science built on the principles of nature and principles of truth. And there is only one truth. There is no new version of the truth. That is why Ayurveda was practiced, or the principles were same. It is same. It is going to be same. Because truth will always stay as truth. So that is why I would say Ayurveda is the science of truth and integrity and living ethically. That's the foundation. So dharma or dharmic life is a big part of it from the beginning of teaching. And that is you can have a business. Generally, people think business means taking money in any way. No, there is an Ayurvedic way of business. Right? Many of my graduates, I had a few incidences like this. They will come and say that, Dr. J, I'm happy. I'm really grateful for whatever teaching you give. But whenever I practice, whenever I take money from people, I have a little bit problem internally. Am I compromising my selflessness? I want to have selfless practice, a dharmic selfless practice. When I take money, I internally feel that am I compromising my ethical, dharmic way of practice? So then I guide them. I tell them, despite of taking money from people for your service, if you are able to satisfy two criteria, still you are considered as selfless in your practice. Even after taking money, your practice will be selfless if you are able to follow or satisfy two criteria. Criteria number one, you are true to yourself and you are very happy about what you have done for this individual. Okay? You are true to yourself and you are very happy what you have done for your rogi. So you are happy. That's one. Second criteria, the person who received the service from you is very happy about what you have done. They are totally satisfied. They are very happy about what you have done. And they are giving that money, whatever your fees is, they are so happy and they are giving as a token of their gratitude. So they are happy, you are happy. And that makes, despite of taking money, your practice is still selfless.
Yes.
Because you have done that for a purpose,
Absolutely. And money is a flow of energy after all, right? Currency. It's a flow of energy. So it's a flow of energy from the rogi to the practitioner. And I think as we're talking about business in Ayurveda, it's also having integrity in how you set up your business model. So it's not a fear-based business model where you're locking people in for long periods, that it's a good exchange and that in your heart, you can look a person in the eye and feel good about what you're offering. And I think that's important rather than going down the fear-based approach of business model.
It's a very positive business, right? A positive business, a dharma-based business. And positive business means the person who is getting your service or the product are happy about what you have done and they got what they paid for. Mm-hmm. And you are also using that in an ethical practice, ethical sourcing, and paying people who are a part of it. And, having a ethics-based value chain, the whole, from the source to the people receiving. And Absolutely. That will sustain forever.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes the fear-based system comes in when you're worried about, having more business. However, if, like you say, have integrity in your practice and you're offering great value and great work, the business will continue to flow.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely. No need of, unwanted too much marketing for it. Because the people who are getting your service or product will become your people to promote that. That has been always, if I look at my journey and as a clinician, as a teacher, as somebody connected to one of the traditional Ayurvedic institutions. And always we have been guided through the people who are our students or people coming for our consultation, getting our products. They will take care of us. That has been our history of Kerala Ayurveda.
Yeah, wonderful. And that's what I've seen myself is you get, the testimonials and the word of mouth and so on. And talking about marketing, I think that we have to talk about marketing your business as well with integrity, because now we live in a world of social media and short snippets of information. And so the wisdom can be simmered down or can be cut into these sound bites, which I feel doesn't do justice to the depth of wisdom of Ayurveda. And so I think that's something that's important to discuss as well as we continue to talk about the business of Ayurveda, is maintaining that integrity while maybe you're posting on social media and so on.
This is the biggest challenge we are facing today, because when you look at a video, you don't know whether it's a real video or an AI-generated video. There's a real picture or an AI-generated picture. Mm-hmm. And the AI-generated pictures are much more clearer than the normal picture. It is much more clear. So there are issues, right? Now, those who are having more commercial power, more money, is going to spend more, and the others may not even come to visibility. Because if you have an option to see various things and an ability to choose, people will always choose the right thing, the ethical, positive, right with the quality. But when you make the louder noise with your commercial, strength, where the real, original, ethical things are getting more silent or getting masked in this big sound, that is one of the biggest issue we are facing, we are going to face. That is why we need to have more conversation where those who are receiving our service, receiving our products, receiving the education to talk about, as you rightly mentioned, about testimonial. You are my student. When you say, hey, I studied at Kerala and I have this, that makes a lot of difference rather than the institution is saying, I am true, I am authentic. Everybody can say,
exactly.
I am true, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the marketing part of it. Now, how you can teach the marketing community that you should have ethical thing, because everywhere it is commercial interest.
Yeah.
You pay more, I will have more posting for you. You pay more, I'll make more a video for you. It's getting diluted, or it is getting affected by this. Yeah, the commercial interest is overtaking. But I need to tell you, Colette, that if you take last about a decade or two, you'll also see people moving from more, from the reductive chemical approach or that kind of, a modern or the commercial approach to people are looking for natural. People are more looking for herbal. People are not looking for with history. There is a human shift in the consciousness. Like really, made it a little bit more obvious, the need for self-care, the need for protecting nature, using the right thing in a natural way. So there is also a kind of shift happening. People looking for the most authentic. So there are more of ethical promotions also happening at the same time.
Yeah, I think people are looking for more depth, right? As we get into an era of, short form videos and AI and so on, and not understanding what's real, what's authentic, people are craving more depth and more connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And that you can see at all levels. And I can see even in our, program, the students coming to our programs, we have a lot of medical doctors and other system clinicians, physicians, massage therapists, practitioners. We see a shift in the overall, the way the human consciousness is shifting. So that is positive. So I don't want to say the whole modern world is negative and commercial. There are, shifts also happening in a positive direction.
Yeah. And I think it is leading us more on that path of, discernment as well. And I'd love to talk about that now. Like, how can individuals cultivate their own discernment and their own inner navigation and authority when navigating, the wellness space?
So the key is, one, be a researcher when it comes to your life and health. Whatever you buy, whatever you, enroll for, whatever you are looking for, don't take the face value of just looking at one video or one flyer or a compelling 3 minutes of commercial video. Let that be a prompt for you to look into it. Spend time. And especially when it comes to your food, your healing ingredients, your education, and your health-related services, please go deeper, because it's your health and life. Look for history. Look for the feedback systems, look for testimonials, and look at who is this bringing this product to me? Who is this? So I think a little bit more in this, especially in this commercial world, your own research and buying. And I see that people look at a lot of reviews and looking within that, they compare and etc. But that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
That reminds me.
One more layer deeper.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I was searching for Ayurveda schools. It's, I was doing my spreadsheet and you're looking at, what is with the values. And I saw that Kerala Ayurveda came from a lineage of Ayurveda and it was authentic and very much focused on the classical texts. That's what won me over. That's what I was searching for. So I think, yes, spend time, invest time in researching, because as you said, it's worth it. Your time and money. It's a good place to spend that.
Exactly. So you should always do that, the research, and you should look at the history of that institution, whatever it is. It can be a product company. It can be an educational institution. Spend time, because in this world, you need to really look into, otherwise everything you look alike, you won't be able to differentiate in the first sight. And you need to go one more layer deeper, then you will be able to clearly understand who has been there, who has been getting more, appreciations. And so that will help.
This episode is sponsored by Kerala Ayurveda Academy. Ready to turn your passion for Ayurveda into a meaningful career? Kerala Ayurveda Academy offers certification programs where you can build real knowledge, real confidence, and real impact for yourself, family, and clients. Here's what one of their students shared. Kerala Ayurveda Academy provides a very welcoming learning environment. The instructors and mentors are always available, offering guidance and support whenever needed. The assignments truly help you learn and prepare for success as an Ayurvedic professional. I chose KAA for its authentic approach and connection to traditional Vedic texts, and now I feel confident and ready to begin my own practice as an Ayurvedic counselor. If you're looking for authentic Ayurvedic education rooted in classical texts, supportive mentors who guide you every step of the way, and a program designed to help you actually practice Ayurveda, contact KAA on keralaayurveda.us for more information and let them know you heard about KAA here on the podcast. And so what are more subtle ways that, integrity can be compromised, like even unintentionally sometimes? People may have the best intentions, the best will, but sometimes unintentionally things can happen, or maybe due to a lack of experience, a lack of education, and then integrity can be compromised in that way. Do you have any examples of this?
I can give you certain. See, what happens is when somebody is starting an education, the individual who is starting that education program can only teach based on what they received. It's a chain reaction. You are going and studying from somebody, thinking that they are, good, they are whatever you read about them, etc. But if there was an issue of integrity, what you are getting, you are sincere, right? You are sincere, you want to be ethical, etc. But what you are receiving may not be from that. Then what you are going to replicate or take forward is what you received, because that's what you think. So there can be issues. I have seen, I have been seeing that for many years, that there are students which are sincere, but the source of education, according to that, it can vary. For example, a student say, anything comes with mind, I'll give Brahmi. Anything comes with menstrual disorder, I'll give Shatavari. Anything comes with skin, I'll give Manjishta. That is not the right approach of healing. Mm-hmm. There are disorders of the uterine system where Shatavari can be contraindicated. right? Because it is Vata Pitta pacifying. In a kaphagenic issue, it may not be. So there is an issue. I'm glad that you asked. Many a time, it is not the integrity of the student who received. It is the integrity of the teacher matters. So that's why very important. It is the integrity of the person who is buying the oil and using. They want to get the authentic, but what they are receiving. So it's a chain of flow. Anything unethical become source of unethical, flow, right? So that's always there. That is why I'm so proud of our Ayurvedic community in the US, the National Ayurveda Medical Association, etc. 2 decades created the infrastructure for Ayurvedic education, practice, self-governance. Because at least there is some kind of a screening, basic standards. Very important.
It is very important. It goes back to what you say about investing in understanding where you're purchasing products or where you're going to be educated. You have to spend some time investigating what you're purchasing and using the vote of your wallet to invest in ethical practices and products. And I'd love to talk a little bit now, talking about Nama, talking about respecting the scope of practice, which is very important, right?
Part of the integrity.
Yeah.
That's why, it's very important. That's why there are standards of education set and there are scope of practice defined. Every graduate of every Ayurveda program should be mindful to practice within their scope. That's a part of their fundamental integrity because they are dealing with the health and lives of people. And whenever you do beyond your scope, you are not very sure because you didn't learn. That's why it is not a part of your scope. When you are going to take a chance, you cannot take a chance when it comes to health and life. You have to be sure. So I appreciate that, bringing that, Colette, that every graduate of Ayurveda should, because I always say, I was hosting a completion celebration of our students the other day. So I told them the fundamental 3 responsibilities of Ayurvedic professionals, fundamental 3 responsibilities: to protect the people, to protect the profession, and protect themselves. This is the most important, the integrity and the practice, the principles you should carry. Everything should be in a way protecting the people. That means you should not cause any problem to others. Protecting the profession. You may go beyond your scope and something will happen. But when it comes to the whole world as in news, it will not be about you as an individual. It's about Ayurveda has this problem. Then, of course, you need to protect yourself. To ensure these 3, dharma or the virtue, you should always practice within your scope. Absolutely. So that you are confident, you are comfortable, you know what is going to happen. It will give you confidence. That will also help the person who is receiving.
Yeah. And as you said, Nama provides these guidelines and really gives us confidence as those of us working in Ayurveda about what our scope of practice is. And we have to continue our education in order to get our Nama certification and then the code of ethics as well.
Exactly. It's a part of it, right? It's a part of it. In schools, there is a teaching on ethics, and we teach from the classical text what are the principles of ethics. Even as a professional member of Nama, you have to go through the ethical quiz and pass that. And that's a part and parcel of Ayurvedic education, Ayurvedic practice, and we need to follow. That is why we have the screening at various levels, right? One is about scope of practice defined and the standards of education. So the education institution will follow certain ethical teaching practice. There is board certification, even after graduation, making sure that you got what you need to be a professional of Ayurveda. Then the accreditation commission, even the schools are screened for how ethical and how comprehensive, systematic their education programs are. These are all good things for us to, make sure our integrity, our ethical practice is maintained throughout.
And that's for anybody listening, whether you're working in Ayurveda or whether you're looking for services and you're living in the US where Nama obviously is based, it's a great place to search for practitioners or schools because you know they have gone through these guidelines and they're meeting certain standards, which is what we need in order to maintain integrity within the business, as it were, of Ayurveda.
Yeah, and everywhere it is there. For example, in India, BAMS is an accredited program run by accredited universities, right? So there are specific curriculum and there are screening, exams, internship, etc. So it has to be. It's a healing system. The integrity, the strength, the clarity, purity, these are all very, very important because we are dealing with health and life.
And I think I always seem to come back to the word humility particularly when I'm talking with you about Ayurveda, because again, going back to social media, we have to, as those of us who are sharing the wonderful wisdom of Ayurveda, is having that humility that, it's a deep science, and to continue that curiosity and that study within Ayurveda in order to maintain integrity and to ensure that we're putting quality out there and that we're respecting this ancient wisdom.
I totally agree. Because the more you learn Ayurveda, the more humble you are going to be.
Sure.
You are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because the more you learn, you understand how less you know.
Yes.
And journey with Ayurveda is a lifelong journey, right? One life is not enough to learn the whole Ayurveda. So we are all students at different levels. And I tell all my students, maybe I started swimming in this ocean a little bit earlier than you, but we are all in this lifelong students. And it's, that's such a vast science. And the more you practice, and you can go and see the Vaidyas in India, etc. And there'll be 100 people in line at 9 a.m. in the morning. They'll be with a simple dress in a simple way and a simple house. And it's all about being humble, being grateful, being humble, and being ethical. And you'll be able to enjoy your life. This is my teaching for all my students and graduates. I do all the time. I teach the first module of every program. And I also teach the last module of every program. First module to set the foundation. Last module is for me to pass all the principles of the ethical practice, what they need to follow, how it is going to help them, being ethical and unethical. Many a time, the quick way of making money but at the same time, you need to leave. Because these are all creating ripples within your system, right?
Yeah.
When you do anything unethical, out of that integrity space, internally, it is going to create negative ripples. They're going to develop more imbalances and problems. Where when you are ethical, you are very happy. At the end of the day, you can sleep peacefully, you can enjoy your life. There is no guilt, shame, or any negative emotions within you. You have done the best for everyone coming in front of you, right?
Yes.
That is exactly what we need to do.
Absolutely. That's pure happiness and freedom within.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. And so if there was any message for, practitioners, people working in Ayurveda and students of Ayurveda, those just interested in Ayurveda, to take away about integrity, what would that be?
Okay. Ayurveda is a consciousness-based medicine. We are existing in mind-body consciousness. So that means there's a structural, functional, and conscious layers in which we exist. That is the way every other living entity exists. We are addressing this. We, with this mind-body consciousness, is addressing another individual with a mind-body consciousness. The clarity, purity, and ethics what you carry is going to help you to embody the science as expected. That embodiment is the key. Being in presence should be healing. Getting something from your hand should be healing. Talking to you should be healing. Right? Taking something what you suggested should be healing. For that, you need to embody Ayurveda. Embodying Ayurveda includes embodying that integrity, the ethics, and the truthfulness within you. So I want all the students of Ayurveda and practitioners of Ayurveda try to embody the Ayurveda and its integrity in their practice. That is going to take them a long way. The tradition will lift them up. The truthfulness will lift them up. But it's not easy, because then you need to be ready to organically grow. You cannot take shortcuts. You should not take that, oh, nobody is going to know that. You are knowing it, right? It may take a little bit of time. You take your time, shift your consciousness and awareness, and try to have an ethical, pure practice. And the tradition will guide you. And you're going to have a beautiful life.
That's
so try
true.
to embody the true principles of Ayurveda and the science of Ayurveda.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're living the principles of Ayurveda and integrating it into your lifestyle, it will show through in everything you do, because now you're raising your awareness, your consciousness, and that is then permeating into everything in your life.
Exactly.
But like you said, It's not easy. It takes commitment.
It needs patience. It needs commitment. It needs patience. And you should be ready to grow with the science, right?
Yeah.
So that is why you get the right guidance. You have, two sides are very important. Since we are talking about Ayurvedic practice, the conceptual side and the practice side, both should go hand in hand. Vagbhada in Ashtanga Sangram says, a person who has lot of theoretical knowledge, but not having enough, practice knowledge, they may be like a warrior in front of the war front, have all the equipment, but don't know how to use it. You are going to get scared in front of the people when you need to practice, because you have theory, but not practice. Whereas on the other side, you have seen some practice somebody else is doing, etc., but you don't know why, how, you don't have the concept behind it. You know only the practice. And Vagbhada says, if a king knows such an individual is practicing in their country, the king will not allow them to stay in that country, because they will do more. They may harm more than they do good for the community. So the integrity to the knowledge of concept and principles and enough practical knowledge, both are equally important to be a successful Ayurvedic professional. So I encourage all students of Ayurveda, all professionals of Ayurveda, to go more deeper in their theoretical understanding and to go and have repeated internship. Even after practicing once in a year, once in 2 years, go and learn the practical clinical practice with somebody who's an expert. That is going to make that journey a little bit more faster, rather than you are going to figure it out from the beginning to end. Continued education, reorientation, that will take you a long way.
Yeah. You're staying curious, and you're taking what you've learned in one program, integrating that, and then getting more education. And it's a lifetime of learning, and it's fascinating and exciting.
And a student who learned the first module of level 1, at the end of the program, ask them to go and rewatch again. They will get much more from what they already studied first time. Because now they are going to review that with a much more knowledge already gained, able to see in a different perspective. The same way, a practitioner student looking at the fundamental, they will get in a different way. Very interesting and enjoyable journey of reiterating, repeating, and to also to stay aligned. I always get this question, Dr. J, you are telling a lot of Sanskrit slokas. Whenever we ask any formulation, you'll bring with the Sanskrit sloka. How you are learning and how you are keeping all this thing. So I tell them, no, I didn't get any thumb drive from my granddad's brain to my brain. I spend a lot of time. And I give them 2 tips, how they can retain knowledge. Usually what we do is, we just study and we keep it there. It is like a book in the backpack. You'll have to go and look every time, or a folder in your computer. You'll go and click and open every time. First time when you learn with a proper understanding. Learn with understanding the meaning of what you are learning. understanding the concept, understanding the meaning of it. So learn thoroughly with the focus. That's the first step. You know what is the second step? Repeat, repeat, repeat. Rehear, relearn, reread. Then the book in the backpack will change to that knowledge become a part of your inner consciousness. So it's always there. Anytime you can have it. So that's a tip I give to all my students.
Fantastic.
One is to learn with the proper understanding. Second, repeat. I don't have any idea how many times I must have read Ashtanga Hridayam as a text, because it was a part of our Sandhya Vandanam or evening prayers at my home. 2 pages of Ashtanga Hridayam. We keep going. Once the book finishes, we start from the first page. So living with it and making it as a practice. I always tell my students, first 2 to 3 years of your practice after you are finishing education, for every case you consult, you should keep at least half an hour blocked in your calendar for going and referring and reviewing. What else I could have done? How else I need to guide? What are the other opportunities? If they do that for first few years, they're going to be in a totally different level of understanding. So learning should be a part of your practice.
But that's what makes the journey so interesting. It's, you're constantly learning and going deeper. And, as we've said throughout this episode, Ayurveda, you're peeling back layers all the time.
All the time. It's like opening a flower, right?
Oh my goodness.
Blooming of a flower, a lotus flower. It's not that all the petals will open together. The outer layer opens, then the next layer opens, then the next layer opens, then finally complete bloom. Same way the learning. Yeah. So when you go for the level 1 program, the first layer opens, then the second layer opens, like that. It's a journey.
It is.
It's a journey like life.
So Dr. Jay, as we finish up here, is there anything else you wanted to share on this topic which we have not covered?
First of all, I really appreciate you bringing this particular topic, because I've been thinking about this need to be shared, because the importance of integrity, not for others, this is for the person who is practicing, selling, or learning. Integrity is not for others. Integrity is for you. Very important, because this is a consciousness-based science. This is not a technical science. That is why, Vedic teachings are, I don't say generally just science, because science is about technical knowledge, more, the left brain centered, about data, about knowledge. No. Vedic sciences are the art and science of living. When they science, it is more brain-oriented. When you say art, it is more heart-oriented. Ayurveda is the art and science of health and longevity, well-being. So it should be a heart-centered, but still having enough knowledge. So the brain and heart should come together with equal importance. Technical knowledge and the compassion, care, kindness, love, that should be a part of that. One part of it will not work. You have good heart, but you don't have knowledge, it will not work. You have a lot of knowledge, but you are, that compassion, care, kindness is compromised. It won't work. Have both the heart-centered as well as brain-centered, the connections properly to become a good student and professional of Ayurveda.
Wonderfully said. And before we finish up, can you tell us what's happening at Kerala Ayurveda Academy and the Wellness Center? There's lots happening right now. You have the India immersion coming up, right?
Yes, very exciting. A lot of students are going through our programs. As you know, we conduct certification programs and the Ayurvedic Health Counselor, Holistic Ayurvedic Coach program. It's starting soon. Then there is Ayurvedic Practitioner Program, Advanced Ayurvedic Practitioner Program. These are all happening, on a regular basis. And we do conduct India immersion type of, traveling with me. And I'll be with that group all the 14 days. It's not just a study tour. It is nature, culture, tradition, community, own healing. It's everything, right? Soaking in the tradition and the nature of Kerala. So that's happening in August. So Wellness Center is doing well. All Vaidyas are very busy, and consultations, Panchakarma, and products. So things are going very well with the blessing from the tradition. Yeah, a lot of great students.
Wonderful.
So,
based in Milpitas. And of
based in
course,
Milpitas. Yes, those who want to
California.
know more about what we do, Kerala Ayurveda.us is our website, and our wellness center for consultation and Panchakarma, etc. That's happening in Milpitas, California.
And I'll put all those links in the show notes, Dr. J. But I have to say,
Sure.
I really appreciate Kerala Ayurveda offering past students still access to the information. I can go back into the archives. I'm continuing my education with Kerala Ayurveda. That's amazing to me. I have so much, a library of information available.
That is one of the decisions where I took it when I took over as the academic director. That is, when I say Ayurveda is, a lifelong study, how can I just cut my students from studying? So that's why I encourage all our certificate students to join their weekly classes without any additional fee, even after graduation. We give access to the e-learning system, to all the content, even the teaching material, etc., as long as the technology can handle, because I want them to keep learning. And we'll be updating all the new videos or the new classes, new manuals, and we'll give access to even graduates without any additional fee.
That's fantastic.
No additional subscription, no additional fee. That's one of the most important, I think, support Kerala Ayurveda is doing to its graduates.
Well, it just shows integrity and that you're deeply committed to the continuing education of your graduates as well. And I know I truly appreciate that.
Kerala Ayurveda, coming from a lineage tradition of Ayurveda, we as an institution, we want to embody Ayurveda. We are going to do what we say, and we are going to follow the entire ethical practice of Ayurveda in our education, in our practice, and in our products. There is no compromise to it.
Yeah, it shows. Absolutely shows and rings through. Dr. J, thank you so much. I really appreciate this conversation, and thank you.
Thank you, Colette. Please continue your journey. And I know how many people are getting helped and educated with the right information through your podcast. And I wish all the best to you.
Thank you.
See you again.
Thank you, Dr. J. That means a lot. Bye for now.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Dr. J, and please check out the show notes for the links mentioned. And if you would like to connect with other like-minded souls and have deep conversations and support on your journey with Ayurveda, then check out the Elements of Ayurveda podcast community. Inside, you'll find early access to podcast episodes, member forums for discussion and Q&A, mindfulness and self-care practices, monthly live Zoom meetups, and seasonal group challenges and reflections. It's a conscious, supportive space to connect, learn, and grow with others walking the Ayurvedic path. Visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com to register, and I'll also put a link in the show notes. On my website, you will also find all the info on my online services, from consultations to self-paced educational programs, and of course, the Digestive Reset Cleanse. I do have a comparison chart on my website where you can clearly see what you get with each option. And if you have any questions before booking, then take advantage of my free 15-minute services inquiry call. We can hop on Zoom and I can answer all of your questions. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to the podcast, and the new episodes will automatically download for you. And if you would like to leave a rating and review, I would really appreciate that. Please come join me on social media. On Instagram, it's Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.